get started.
Hi, my name is Steve Fayette, and this is Greg Paris. We're going to talk to you about mental illness and church. The need for church and the need for people with mental illness to be in church, and about church discipline. Now, I want to ask Greg a question about church discipline and mental illness.
Sure.
Can people with mental illness actually accept spiritual discipline, spiritual maturity? Do they have that capability?
Of course they can accept spiritual maturity and spiritual discipline and maturity. I mean, having a mental illness is all about maturity and discipline anyways. I mean, it's a constant battle between fighting within the things in your mind, the things between yourself. You're always constantly fighting the battle. Even Abraham Lincoln, he had a mental illness, but his mental illness was depression. And he was always fighting the battle. And I always notice, like, even in my illness, I'm always fighting the battle. I'm always, caught between should I do this, should I do this. I'm always stopping myself from doing stuff like this or doing something that would harm me or harm others in another way. I'm always stopping myself like, no, don't do that, until I finally got on the right medication and I was able to finally, start to think straight. But until I got on that right medication, I was constantly in a battle, stopping myself or constantly saying, no, I shouldn't do this, knowing where to place myself or knowing like when to say something, when not to say something, or when to put myself full-fledged into something, or when to like tether back a little bit,
Question for you.
Yeah.
People with mental illness, can they rise to greatness like Abraham Lincoln? If they can, what would your ideas be on a person with mental illness rising to greatness like Abraham Lincoln?
Well, the answer explains itself. If Abraham Lincoln can make it, you can make it too. You know what I'm saying? If Abraham Lincoln, with a mental illness, was able to be president of the United States of America, then you can make it too. It explains itself.
Even Helen Keller, being blind, she came up with Braille. With disability, she turned into a capability.
Stevie Wonder, look how well he plays the piano and sings and plays the harmonica.
Yeah.
Even with a disability, he's able to do all things, right?
Another question for you: discipline. With mental health providers, counselors, and psychiatrists, they don't teach spiritual discipline because the church, between church and church and state, but the discipline between be obedient to the law and obedient to others, and a sense of obeying people's free will and respecting their boundaries.
Right.
Without that discipline to do that, how in the world are we ever going to coexist?
Okay, so in order to coexist in the world, there has to be a proper balance. There are some good, there are some bad. So me being in the same situation, you have different beliefs, different belief systems. Everybody believes in their own self. Some people even believe in evil. Some people believe in good. Some people believe in different gods, you know what I'm saying? But there has to be a proper balance because, who's to say who's right? Even though we as godly people, we believe in God, we believe everybody should be good, but sometimes something bad happens and people wonder what's going on with that. But some people actually believe in that. So what can we do? But as godly people, the good thing about being around other people that have different beliefs is that you're there for them to witness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when they see what good has brought you and how your godly wisdom and your interpretations of things and the way you guide things and the way you look in everybody's eyes, it opens their eyes to a whole new perimeter. It opens their eyes to a whole new dimension. So if a person that believes in something evil is looking at a person that believes in something good, that believes in God, the good God, and Jesus, and all of a sudden they start to have a different level of thought, then doesn't the whole the dynamic matter now? Now all of a sudden they're starting to go to school on you because now they're starting to want what you have, and that's the important part about being there, so they can witness, so they can make a decision for themselves. Because sometimes when people believe in evil, they have no other. Maybe they had no direction in life. They had no. Maybe they were taught this by their parents or by just growing up in their neighborhoods, and all they were taught was bad, 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 and they had no chance to see the good. Excuse me. They had no chance to see the good. So when they see the good, finally it glows to them. It's like a light that they haven't seen before. Either they don't accept it or they accept it. But the point is, they were there to witness.
What do you think about accountability?
Accountability, yeah, very good. Yeah.
Can people with mental illness accept accountability, even though we are going to be controlled by accountability, especially by the legal law, especially by God Himself?
Well, I think everybody's accountable for everything. Everybody. I mean,
What should be accountable? What's most important thing that we should be accountable for?
Children. We should be accountable for children. What children see and what children pick up is our faults, because we know that that's a younger brain, and they're actually picking up everything that they see and they feel, and we should always make a children's world serene. Always make it something where they can say, all right, the world is good. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If they can't see good in you, then what good are you doing to their life?
We have another question. In what way should we be accountable to children?
What they see, what they learn, how we discipline them, basically, the whole gist of everything. You can be a big brother or a big sister, even if it's your son or daughter. You can be a big brother or a big sister to them, you know what I'm saying? But the most important part is you have to be a good father, a good shepherd. You know what I'm saying? A person that they would want to follow.
And bring children to church, especially your son.
Right, my son Anthony, he's 1.5 now. We're bringing him to church. We talk to him all the time. We try to be perfect examples in his eyes, because he's good. He's growing up. I mean, he's little, but he's starting to pick up little pieces and bits and pieces. And I'm trying my best as a father to try to do the best by him and not teach him the wrong things. Not, I don't smoke in front of him. I don't over discipline him. I try my best to make sure he gets the example of what I'm trying to say with my words and my tactics before anything.
Okay. Another question for you. One last question before we end this segment. And that's the love of God within us, the people with mental illness, as it relates to the community.
Well, I think mostly. All right. So, in many hospital situations, I've noticed there's a lot of children of God that are mentally ill. It's almost like that's one of the things that almost makes us accountable for what it makes us part of the cycle. Some of the things that we won't do, some of the things that we're not able to do as human beings because God tells us not to, we're still punished for, and those could be, we're still accountable for. You know what I'm saying? But some of those things are good things. When you won't do this, you won't do that. Some of those things may be good in God's eyes, but not accepted by the world. Some people follow God so greatly that they're not applying to what the worldly aspect of what a person should be doing in life. Like, you know,
and what should a person in life be doing?
Well, a person in life should be doing in the godly aspect is being honest to God, showing up, basically, showing up to church, basically, you know what I'm saying, just understanding the Bible and what he's trying to say, understanding the totalness of God, and put it into the daily life. You know?
Amen, brother.
Yeah, definitely.
This concludes our first segment, and Pastor Matthew from Calvary Chapel will be coming up this Friday. Not this Friday, next following Friday, and with Pastor Jonah from Calvary Chapel. I hope you tune in. Thank you for listening.